Good morning and welcome to the History Help channel. Today we are looking into the Indian historiography section. We are learning about the medieval Indian historiography. Last video was about the Muslim Indian historiography. Today we'll be looking into the Mughal period. So in the Mughal period, the historiography that was written became more serious, sober, dignified. That is because not only there were plenty of historians like Abul Fazl, Badawi, and Jahangir, Akbar themselves contributed a lot of historical material and also wrote. Jahangir wrote memoirs. And even Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb period, there was a certain amount of literature. So because of that, we have a lot of information on biography. There are biographies, there are records, there are letters, there are coins, there are inscriptions, there are orders or sannats to various officials. So there was a lot of material, official material in the Mughal period. So that's why we can say they are very exhaustive and very comprehensive. However, there is one problem. There was no new historical thought. Be- if you actually look into the Mughal period, though there was a lot of history, there was no particular type of history like the Enlightenment period or the positivism, Marxism, no such uh, new historical thought actually arose, but there was plenty of historical material. So let us take a look into some of the historiographers, historiography during this period. So if you take it to look to Akbar's period, we have Abul Fazl, who was a teacher, and he was very close to the Akbar. So because of his Abul Fazl's intellect, sharpness, Akbar asked him to write. So Abul Fazl went into a great detail to write the Akbarnama, which is actually three books relating to three parts related to Akbar. So the Akbarnama first part tells about Babur and Humayun. The second part tells about Akbar until 1602, and the third part, which is also known as Aine Akbari, it gives details about administration of the government, economy, trade, all that. So Abul Fazl collected data from all officers, and Akbar himself helped him because Akbar had a good memory. He gave plenty of information to Abul Fazl, and in fact, he wrote five volumes, you can say, on Akbar's reign, Abul Fazl. So uh, first four were on Akbar's time period, and the fifth volume was about the administration. So whatever there was one problem with Abul Fazl. He was he loved the emperor in this one, and he did not care for any criticism. He wrote in a very high style, lofty manner that would please Akbar and his friends. So that is so it's slightly that way. If you look, it was not a very objective, but definitely it gave a lot of information about the Akbar period. The second part which comes with is Badawi, Mullah Abdul Badawi, who was the other end of Abul Fazl. If Abul Fazl loved Akbar, Badawi was very critical of Akbar, because Badawi was a conservative, and Akbar's policies on Rajputs and Deen-e-Ilahi and all that was not tolerated by Badawi. So uh, he wrote about Muttaka Muttawrik, and he was very critical about Badawi. Then comes another person, Nizamuddin Bakshi, who wrote Tabakat I Akbari, which is more simple and more balanced account. It is neither very praiseworthy, neither very critical. He kind of gives a lot of uh, balanced account, and it talks about Nizamuddin Bakshi wrote Tabakat I Akbari, which talks about from Ghazni's invasions to Akbar's rule. So that is a little bit about the literature written during Akbar's period. Then several regional kingdoms also wrote a lot of books during this period in different languages as well. Coming back to Jahangir, there was Jahangir himself wrote Tuzuk-i Jahangiri, which was written by Jahangir and talks about his 17 years of rule. But however, this later part of his administration was written by Mutabid Khan. So, and compared to Akbar, Jahangir was more realistic, and he that is seen in his writings. And so, the last years of Jahangir's reign was written by Mutabid Khan. So, he was a Persian, and he himself wrote another book. That is, Mutabid Khan himself wrote another book, Iqbal Hamai Jahangiri, which is also talks about Babur to Jahangir. Then we come to Shah Jahan. In the Padshah Nama was written by Abdul Hamid Lahori, which he gives a very detailed account of political life, also social life, society. By the time of Aurangzeb, slightly the even during Shah Jahan's time, it had become slightly lesser reaction, had become reactionary. Aurangzeb gave permissions not to, I mean, withdrew the permissions to write history, and still, in spite of that, publications were there like Alamgiri, which was written by Sagi Mustaid Khan, which was a very important history during the period. This was actually published after the death of Aurangzeb. Then Kafi Khan wrote Muttaka Ulluma, which also gives considerable information about this time period. So, if you actually see, there is plenty of detailed account of political, social, cultural, and economic conditions were very nicely written during the Mughal period. So, in the next lesson, we will be looking into the modern Indian historiography. Thank you.